Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about something I've been seeing a lot lately, all over social media, all over the regular media, and that's whether or not America is a rape culture. So the short answer is, of course, no. Obviously, America is not a rape culture. To insinuate such is honestly completely ridiculous in my opinion. Rape is a crime here in America. If you are found guilty of committing rape, you go to jail. In no way does this country support rape, or do we promote rape, or do we allow rapes to happen. Even less extreme sex crimes are looked down upon. Sexual harassment in the workplace, slapping a girl's ass if she's walking by, even calling out to her and catcalling women is looked down upon. So, I mean, to say that we're promoting rape, we're not even supporting any sort of sexual harassment or sexual inappropriate sexual conduct either. So it's just ridiculous to say that we live in a rape culture. The dumbest argument I always hear, it drives me crazy, makes my blood boil every time I hear this, and it's always from some liberal hipster college kid, is when they say, oh, we shouldn't be teaching girls to protect themselves from rapists, we should be teaching boys not to rape. Where the fuck did you grow up where boys weren't taught that it's not okay to rape people? I mean, everyone I know was taught that it's not okay to rape people. I was taught that it's not okay to rape people. I mean, they act like these rapists do it because they had no idea that it was wrong. Like, once they get arrested, they're gonna be like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, I had no idea, like, I thought this was acceptable, like, that's my bad. No, these rapists know exactly what they're doing, they know they're committing a crime, they know it's immoral, and they do it anyways. I mean, to say that we don't teach boys not to rape is so ridiculous that I can't even fathom how people can actually think that's a good argument. And they say it with such conviction. We should be teaching boys not to rape people. It's like, you're right, we should, and we have been, and we always have been, and we always do, so you're being ridiculous. Of course we should teach women to protect themselves against any sort of sexual-related crime. That's the same thing as we teach people not to murder, yet we still take self-defense classes. We teach people that it's not okay to break into other people's houses, but we still lock our doors at night. We teach people not to commit crimes, but of course we're going to teach people to protect themselves against criminals who may commit a crime despite having been told not to. And it's no different for rape. It makes no difference what the crime is. You should always learn to protect yourself against any type of crime. Especially rape, especially a violent or sexual crime. Teaching women or men different techniques or strategies as a way to avoid rape is, I just don't see how that could be considered a bad thing. Teaching someone, if someone buys you a drink at a bar, make sure it's not opened, which is kind of hard because a lot of bars, like, they force you to open the drink when they give it to you, like, they have to give it to you while it's open. You'd think that wouldn't be the case, because the best way to ensure that you're not getting roofied or someone's putting something in your drink is to make sure that if they buy you a drink, when they hand it to you, the drink is still sealed. So the fact that most bars don't allow that is kind of weird. But even so, if you're taught, okay, if a group of guys that you don't know who are strangers invite you back to their place and you never met them and you're by yourself, you probably shouldn't go. You don't say, oh, well, I'm going to go, because if these people were told not to rape, then they're not going to rape me. It doesn't work that way. You obviously are going to protect yourself and make sure that you don't get put into specific situations that could possibly lead to something bad happening to you. Now, as far as consent goes, and this is going to turn a lot of people off, but just hear me out when I explain this. This idea that you cannot consent to sex if you're drunk. I understand you can't consent to sex if you're unconscious or if you're passed out, but if you're drunk and you consent to sex and then the next day you regret it, that's not rape. That's you making a bad decision and doing something that you regret. I mean, if a guy and a woman are both drunk and they both decide to have sex, then that's a mutual decision. If you made that decision when you were drunk, then you made that decision when you were drunk. Obviously, if somebody roofies somebody, or if somebody takes advantage of somebody, or makes them, or if they're drunk to the point where they can't even move, obviously that's not what I'm talking about. Obviously that's rape. I'm talking about a girl who consents to sex while drunk. If you consent to sex when you're drunk, you are consenting to sex, and that is not rape. And that isn't victim blaming. I understand victim blaming is a horrible thing. Like if a woman wears a short skirt and then she's sexually harassed or raped, say, oh, well, she shouldn't have worn a short skirt. Of course that's wrong. Everybody knows that's wrong. Everybody knows that just because someone wears something doesn't mean you have a right to rape them. I mean, people act like this isn't common knowledge. And then you see people like the slut walk. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, where women go parading down the street in their underwear in order to prevent rape. I mean, what is that going to do to prevent rape? What does that possibly do? What rapist is going to see a whole bunch of women walking down the street in their underwear and think, oh, you know what, that's such a good point. I really shouldn't rape people anymore. That's completely ridiculous. It's not going to solve anything. It's just going to make people not take you seriously. And we need to stop assuming that all men are rapists, or men are so likely to rape you, and it's a high chance that you're probably going to get raped. Yes, rape happens. People commit rapes, people are victims of rape, that happens, and I understand that that happens. But to say, oh, we really need to do something to try and prevent rape, we do things to try and prevent rape. We put rapists in jail. There are some rape cultures in the world. America is not one of those places. There are some parts of the world where they perform honor killings, where if a woman is raped, she is then murdered because she has brought dishonor to her family by her being raped. That is a rape culture, when the rape victim is victimized for their being raped as if they did something wrong. That does not happen here. That will never happen here. But of course these liberals and the hipster kids, they don't care about those women. They don't care about what's happening in the rest of the world. They just care about making sure everybody in America knows that they're sexist and they have no idea what they're talking about. Every single person should be scared that they're going to get raped 24/7. That simply isn't the case here. Focus your time on preventing countries that do support a rape culture. That would prove to me that you actually care about this issue and you don't just care about people thinking that you care about this issue. That seems to be one of the biggest things with the liberals, the young millennial liberals these days. They tend to not actually care about any of their things that they're advocating for. They just want people to think that they're smart. They want people to think that they're good people and that they care about changing the way things are, and they care about this and that. But in reality, they have no idea what they're even fighting against. And if they did, they would be fighting against things that actually need to be fought against, instead of saying that we live in a rape culture, which is clear, obvious nonsense. So please, think about that before you go around saying that we live in a rape culture. If you want to fight out against rape, fine. If you want to say rape is bad, we're all in support of that. Everybody is in support of saying that rape is bad and that we need to do something to prevent rapists and we need to criminalize those who are convicted of rape. Nobody is fighting against that. You have this idea in your mind that people look at rape like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. Oh, who cares? It was just a rape. It's just a rape. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen here, in this country, at least. Again, it does happen in other plaplaces, but which you tend to avoid talking about or not care about. Here, it doesn't happen. Not one place in this country. So give it up. Fight for something that's actually worth fighting for. Fight to protect people who are living in rape cultures. Fight to protect crimes that are happening that we don't do anything about. Fight to help the women who need it the most, because it's not women in America who need to be protected from a rape culture. It's women and men in other parts of the world who need to be protected from this type of culture, because we have never had a rape culture and we never will. Alright, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Try to keep it civilized. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, but don't bother telling me I'm sexist or that I'm a rape apologist or any of this ridiculous nonsense. I'm not going to take it seriously. So if you want to leave an intelligent question below, then I will be happy to answer it for you. I don't see how anyone can disagree with this. I mean, I don't see how anyone can think that we live in a rape culture. But if you do, or if you do agree with me, either way, leave a comment below and let me know. And make sure to subscribe. I will be posting a lot of videos in bulk. Instead of doing like one a week, I'm just going to be putting a bunch of videos out as I record them. So look out for those videos, and I will see you soon.